Hey, what's going on, guys? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today I have another Android TV box that I want to do a little review on. This is going to be a quick unboxing. We're going to do some benchmarks and then test a couple Android games. I've done a few TV box reviews in the past, and this actually has the same chipset as the last one I did. This is the Amlogic S912. It is an 8-core CPU. 4 of the cores are clocked at 1.56 gigahertz, and the other 4 are clocked at 1 gigahertz. So what I really wanted to do was get this box and see if it performs any better than the last box that I have. Because some of these companies use different kernels for the CPU and GPU. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing, see how it looks. Then we'll move over, we'll do some benchmarking, and we'll run a few native Android games. So this is the Dolami D9. Has an 8-core Amlogic S912 CPU, 1.5 gigabytes of RAM, only 8 gigabytes of internal storage, but the GPU is a Mali T820 MP3, so it's a tri-core or a 3-core GPU. Very basic, looks like every other Android box. Over on this side, we don't have a micro SD card slot. It's a full-size SD card. Little odd there. I have an adapter, but I also have some full-size SD cards that I cannot utilize in my single board computer, so I'll probably throw one in here. It's not a big deal to me. On the back, we have 2 USB 2.0 ports, HDMI, Ethernet, AV and audio out, optical audio, and the power jack. Nothing on any other side. And inside of the box here, basic Android TV remote. Power adapter. Now this is a US power adapter. 5.2 volts, 2 amps. An HDMI cable. Now that we have it unboxed, we're going to move over. I'm going to boot it up. I'm going to install some applications, and I'm going to run Antutu Benchmark, 3D Mark, Antutu Video Tester, which will test the 4K playback capabilities. We're going to run Asphalt Extreme, and I'll find another game that we can test out, probably Minecraft. Let's move over and see how this thing performs. Alright guys, so I have messed with this Android TV box for a while now. It's pretty cool. As you can see, we have the cheap looking Chinese launcher. I tried to install Google Now launcher. It will not launch, so I'm not sure about that. These Chinese boxes have these front ends locked down pretty hard. But I don't mind this. Everything's pretty organized. I do notice that some of my apps that I've downloaded are not showing on the front here. I'm not sure how to fix this right now, but like I said, I've tested a bunch of stuff on here. Let's go into the settings, and I'm actually going to use the Android settings here instead of the Android TV settings. So for memory, we have 1.5 gigabytes of RAM, and it's actually 1.3. I only have 476 megabytes free right now. If I go to storage, the big downside is the 8 gigabytes of internal storage, but I do have a SanDisk USB drive set up as internal storage, and it's a 64 gig, and this is plenty of room for me on any Android box ever. The biggest downfall that I see with this box is no Bluetooth, but on the plus side, I plugged in a Xbox 360 controller, and it works. I plugged in my Razer Serval controller with a USB, and it works. My Mad Catz CT-RLR controller works fine. I'm going to be using that right now. And the CT-RLR controller comes with a dongle. A lot of these Android boxes do not recognize an Xbox 360 wired controller plugged in. This one seems to notice it, and it works quite well. So I've tested a lot of these Android TV boxes. This is actually my second Amlogic S912 CPU box. The last one was the T95Z Ultra. I'll leave some links down below if you want to go check that box out. I also did a bunch of benchmarks on that and did a lot of tests. So I'm going to be taking all the benchmarks from this and comparing it to that box. They run the same chipset, but it's a different interface, and you never know if it's optimized better, if we're going to score higher or lower in these benchmarks or even playing games. Let's go into AIDA64 and check out the specs of this box. I'm going to be using my mouse from now on. This is the Domalee D9. Link is in the description to Amazon if you want to go ahead and check them out. They're like 60 bucks. I got this for the kids' room. CPU is an Amlogic S912 CPU. Now, all these companies will tell you that this is clocked at 2 gigahertz, but it is not clocked at 2 gigahertz. As you can see, AIDA64 has fixed it. This is an 8-core CPU. 4 of the cores clock up to 1.5 and 4 of the cores clock up to 1 gigahertz. Over here, I'm running at 1920 by 1080. We have the Mali T820 MP3, so it's a 3-core GPU. And I want to say it clocks up to 547 megahertz. It might be 700. Don't quote me on that. It usually tells me in here, but it's not telling me right now. It has gigabit Ethernet, but it does not have AC Wi-Fi. If we go into my Wi-Fi settings here, my AC Wi-Fi is not showing up. So what I'm going to do is just go into these benchmarks here, and I've already run them. I've run them 3 times each, and I'm going to compare them to the other S912 Android box that I've tested. We'll go into Antutu. So on the Domalee D9, we scored a 40,972. So on screen now, I have benchmarks from the T95Z Plus. It's lower, not by much though. Next up, 3D Mark. So on Slingshot Extreme, we scored a 402. This is ES 3.1. On Slingshot, 610. And Ice Storm Unlimited, 10,143. We'll compare it with the other box. So with the T95, we scored a 555, just a bit lower. I'll scroll down a bit, and if you'd like to pause it to check out the results, be my guest. Ice Storm Unlimited compared with the T95Z. And again, the Domalee comes out on top, just by a tiny bit. So overall, the Domalee D9 does score higher than the last S912 box that I tested. Let's see the performance in Kodi. Now it's really hard for me to show off a lot, but I have Kodi installed, and I have also installed Apollo. I usually use Pulse, but I've started using Apollo. It's very polished. It looks very, very clean. We'll just go to TV shows. And streaming from my internet right here, I'm on Wi-Fi, works great. Just go to most popular. Okay, I'll just stream one of these really quick for you so you can see that it does work. I'll just skip in a little bit so you can see. It buffers very quickly. And if you have a good internet connection, you should have no trouble using Kodi, streaming movies, TV shows, music, anything really. We'll go back. Next up, Netflix works great, but it is the phone version of Netflix. Very clean playthrough. Loads up really quick. But one of the main things that I wanted to test on this box was some games. And I know these boxes are made for video playback, but I got this for the kids. And let's just see what happens. And this is not going to be a kid-friendly game, for my children at least. But I bought Bully for my NVIDIA Shield, and I wanted to test it here. So let's try Bully Anniversary Edition.
Mom, why'd you marry that phony? What is wrong with you? I can't believe this.
You must be the Hopkins boy.
Where'd you come from?
We've been expecting you.
Welcome to Bullworth Academy.
Okay, so I'm using the Mad Cat CTR-LR controller with the dongle. Everything seems to be working good. There's a little bit of lag here and there. Let's go into the settings and see if we can turn the visuals down a bit. And all we have on this game is clarity. It's set to high. We'll go to low and just see how, yeah, really degrades the resolution, but it's going to speed up the game. Let's try medium. Alright, it still looks pretty good. On par with the PS2 version. And we'll do a camera pan here.
Oh, you like that crane? Ha! It was a tiger, not a crane. Look at the pipsqueak go! Come on! Mama is better! You're dead! Now I've got you!
So this game's working really well.
If I can't be a physician, I guess I could be a lawyer, but that would be...
So as you can see, this game would be totally playable. If you do experience any lag, you can always set it on low, but I'm pretty sure this Amlogic S912 will handle this game at medium. And since we're inside, we could probably set it to high. There's not a lot of rendering distance going on, so we'll go back to high. And it does look a lot better on high.
I hate shoes! These shoes are...
And inside, high is going to work pretty good.
I can't tell Mom about that at all. She'd be so mad.
So next up, I want to test out Asphalt Extreme. Let me exit this game here. Okay, I had to make sure I had the music down. Let's go. So I actually enjoy this new Asphalt. I've played Asphalt Airborne so long. It was time for a change. This is more of the same stuff, but I'm loving the Focus ST. Hopefully we'll get the RS and everything like that in this, but kind of a rally-esque Asphalt. Do a little more racing here, just to see how it performs. Actually handling this game better than I thought it would. So it looks good. Back out, I got one more thing I want to show you guys. So the last thing I want to show you was the Antutu video benchmark. And I've run through this. Okay, so I scored a 858. We'll go to ranking. We'll go to TV box. So an 858 right in between here. It's not that bad. I do see the Shield TV down below the Draco AW80. And I got to disagree with that, but benchmarks are benchmarks. If we go in here, we can see not supported. I didn't get anything that's not supported. Partially supported, MP4, AAC, AVC, not smooth, not smooth, not smooth. And then fully supported, pretty much all of the formats that you're going to run into when downloading movies. And the results were normal for everything, all the way up to 4K, MKV, AC3, and AAC, HEVC, and AVC. Normal. So video playback on this box is great. That's what they're made for. This is a decent box for the price. They're $50 to $60 depending on where you get them. I'm going to leave an Amazon link down below if you want to go check it out. Overall, this is going to be a great box for the kids' room. I have a 26-inch LCD TV I'm going to hook up for them. Obviously, they're going to be playing Minecraft and everything like that. And that's the last thing I wanted to show you before I get out of here. I know I said that the video test was the last, but let's do some Minecraft real quick. Minecraft Pocket Edition runs very smooth on this little box. So I'm going to go over here and we're going to do a little bit of dynamite testing because that's where it starts to lag out. And if you do notice any lag, this is plenty of rendering distance for me or even my kids to play it. But if you want to go up or down, you can definitely do that from the settings. Let's go find a spot to blow up. I'll just use this flat surface here. So I knew it was going to lag out. I thought it would render the game unplayable for a few seconds after it blew up, but it definitely didn't. A little weird looking there. Oh, no wonder. I guess that's just shadows? I don't know. Either way, you can definitely play Minecraft Pocket Edition. No trouble on one of these boxes here. So that's it for now, guys. This was the Doma Lee D9 8-core Android TV box. Performance is great for the price. Now, I always recommend the NVIDIA Shield TV, but it's a $200 box. If you're looking to spend $50 to throw this in a bedroom, I definitely can recommend one of these boxes here. No Bluetooth and the problem with the app drawer here. Those are the only two issues that I've run into now. But that's about it. Video playback's great. Games work really good for a $50 Android box. I'm going to be doing some more testing on this. I'm going to try to install a new app drawer or launcher, and then we're going to try to run some emulators on this box. Since it does benchmark higher by a little bit than the other box that I tested with the Amlogic CPU in it, we may get better performance in N64 and some other emulators that struggle like Dreamcast. So stay tuned. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe. And like always, thanks for watching.